Hello and welcome to another special edition of Parrot Show. Tonight we are here visiting Celia Otubu of Ceemex Solicitors. Celia Otubu is a well-respected Nigerian living in Ireland. Tonight we'll be talking about the situation, the economic situation in Ireland and the state of the nation, Nigeria. Celia, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
We have come to your office today to discuss with you about the state of the nation, Nigeria, and the economic situation in Ireland.
Thank you very much.
All right. And to start with, how is your job going with the economic situation?
Well, Peter, as you know yourself, things are pretty not the way they used to be, so to say, in terms of economy. And this economical breakdown, so to say, has affected most businesses, including mine. Mine is not exceptional, so to say. All solicitors are bearing the brunt, and Ceemex and Company Solicitor is experiencing the biting of the recession here in Ireland.
Because I hear of grant courts from the government, you know, the legal aid that is granted to people who have got cases and who needs to go to the lawyer. They don't have that grant anymore, but you still have to go to the court anyway. You see, is it now a humanitarian job you're doing or what?
Well, to start with, the legal aid in Ireland is not as extensive as it is or was in the UK, so to say, because yes, crime is covered by legal aid in Ireland, some areas of family law. Otherwise, most practices or legal matters are covered by private funding. And because the economy is really pretty bad now, a lot of people first want to secure their family in terms of homes, feeding, accommodation, before they go to lawyers. So in time past, issues that people, when it does arise, would immediately stand up to go and see solicitors. They will think twice. Is it worth my while going to a solicitor now? Because obviously they will pay a consultation fee. If the matter is proceeding, they will need to pay further fees. So this economic recession, so to say, has really affected my practice. I still go to court for those who can afford to pay for me to go to court. Most of the litigation that went on before now, so to say, if in cases where we win the case, sometimes against the state, then the state
will pay some money.
Some money, yes,
do they
towards
do
the court.
Anymore?
Well, they still do, obviously, but the economy meant or is meaning now that where you would get a fee of, for example, 5,000, if you will be lucky if you get 1,500 or 2. So is the gravity of this economic situation that is affecting, obviously, the state and everyone that depends on the state one way or the other, and affecting the general public as well.
I know you are one of the community leaders, and people respect you a lot.
Thank you very much.
Because they say that what you get when they come to you, what you see is what you get.
Yes.
Because you don't dribble them around.
No.
You don't, tell them to bring money and then you do something else. So they have this great respect for you.
Thank you.
So when some people come and they have urgent case and they don't have the money, have you had to go out of your way to represent them?
Even in time past, not even just this recessional period. In time,
you've been doing that.
I do pro bono work.
Yeah, when situation arrives.
Even yes, depends on who I'm dealing with. In the past, I've even fought cases in the High Court. On pro bono case, I remember a particular case of a lady who at the time wasn't even from Africa. I just felt that what was happening to her then needed to be challenged. So, and she didn't have any money because obviously she lost her job. So I took the case to High Court and I fought the case. And I was lucky enough that even the other legal teams that for the case with me, I had explained to them the situation of this particular woman, that she didn't have any money, and we all went ahead and fought that case. So in my practice, when the push comes to shove that I need to help people, if they don't have money, I just go ahead and help them.
You do it.
I do it, yes.
Yeah.
I do pro bono work.
That explains why a lot of people talk about you.
Oh, thank you
the
very
Celia
much.
Solicitors, like the Ceemex Solicitors, and they say, okay, I'm going to go and meet Celia. I've always tried to understand why is your name that popular and positive among, the people.
Well,
No?
because I believe that in every area in life, integrity is very important.
Matters a lot.
Whether we're educated, whether we're not educated, whether we are rich, whether they are poor, I believe that integrity matters a lot, because I do tell people every time issue of integrity comes up about a story of a man in my town who obviously had very poor integrity and eventually became wealthy. And when he helps people, rather than being very thankful, they just make the comment, oh, okay, thank you, but behind they go, but we don't know where this money is coming from.
Yeah.
So it kind of negates the man's good tendency to help. So I believe that integrity is very important.
It's very important.
So when people walk into my office and tell me what problems are, I tell them as it is, as I understand it, tell them what I can do. The ones I can't do, the ones that are not feasible, that cannot be challenged, I tell them as it is.
Yeah.
I've dealt even with Irish people. When they are walking out of my office, they're very angry because they said, well, they told me you are good, but now you are telling me this. But eventually, they come round and tell others that what Celia said is what actually happened.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you as it is, I don't
Yeah.
want to take clients' money for taking that money when I know I won't be able to solve the problem.
Anywhere.
Yes, I would tell client, this is how it is. If you want me to give it a try, I will go ahead. But I must tell the client, this is what your case is. This is what I think you would be expecting to get out of it. And if it's agreeable with my client, I go ahead and proceed and deal with their cases.
Well, that's good, because at the end, what I know that when, with what we do in life, there's always tomorrow.
Yes.
And when you build your name, a lot of people will look back and they will always have the cause to come back to you.
Yes.
But if you want to eat immediately and not think about tomorrow, then there's a problem.
Big problem. In life as well, you don't know where you will meet someone tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what
so
I'm saying.
Somebody you deal with today, you might need to meet them somewhere.
You might need to meet the person again tomorrow.
And this somebody as well might tell their story somewhere to someone who will want to come back to say, oh, I was referred.
Yeah, that's where it comes.
Yes.
Yeah. When did you actually start practicing Ireland?
I came into Ireland at late 2001, and I set up with a partner, Ceemex and Company Solicitor, in 2002. We are now in the 10th year of practice here in Ireland.
10th year of practice in Ireland?
Yes.
That's a long time.
And I stand to be corrected, but I am the first black female solicitor to be admitted in Ireland in 150 years of Law Society existence.
Okay.
So
that's an achievement.
Yes, it is.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. What would be some of the challenges that you would have encountered in the course of that 10 years?
Well, as I just mentioned now, being the first female solicitor to be admitted in the role in Republic of Ireland was a news at the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, my colleague took it on board, and most of them are exposed, so to say. But once I started practice, I began now to see eyebrows being raised, walking into a prison, and the prison officers would presume that I've come to visit someone rather than coming in as a solicitor, and that I need to explain that I'm here to see a client. In the court, when I walk in, is all eye raised up. When I stand up to advocate for a client, it's over the time, so to say, one goes through challenges, but I didn't see them as challenges, so to say, because
they were something that built you up.
Yeah, they have contributed in making me where I am today, particularly with practice in Ireland. And for what other colleagues obviously will work over, I would work harder to achieve that. And it became a talk in the High Court about this black lady solicitor, Celia Otubu. Have you heard of her? She's innovative. Her reasoning is different. The way she handles matters are different, because I needed to now do the best I could to stand out with my fellow lawyers in court, so to say. So over the years, gradually things began to fall into place. As you rightly say, the work you do sell who you are.
Tells a lot about you.
So and as time went along, Ceemex in Ireland became a household name, so much so that one was getting calls from other parts of Europe, outside Europe, US, Europe, Africa, and so on and so forth. So it's been good.
It's been good.
Yes, until this recession, of course.
You just talked about the challenges. You must have had some remarkable experiences from a positive point of view.
Yes, achievements, remarkable work one did was to do with, because I don't just see myself just as a lawyer or as a solicitor practicing in Ceemex and Company solicitor. I have been tagged now to be what they refer to as human rights solicitor, because where we are, so to say, we're in Ireland, which is not our country. So a lot of things we do take for granted in our country differs or changes. Things, parameters are set differently, so it's basically that one has to prove oneself all the time. And I wouldn't stand for discrimination, treating anyone less because of their color, religion, or whether they're a man or a woman. So my work shifted most of the time from just sheer legal into human rights. And so the issue of Irish children and their parents became something that we fought with all we know as far as law is concerned, because we felt that it was discriminatory for Irish children of Irish Caucasian to be allowed to remain in Ireland, whereas the black children or African children or Irish children of other nationalities are treated, their parents are treated less. So we took up that case to court. And at the time when we started, other colleagues, they were telling us, you want to challenge minister. Minister has decided they didn't want to give residency anymore. You can't challenge the minister. No, we say we can challenge minister. Minister makes rule. If that rule is not favorable to everyone, we're entitled to go to court and challenge minister for the court to evaluate minister's decision. So I'm glad that we fought that case and we won that case, and as a result, after the residency was stopped in 2003, the minister obviously, I don't want to be too strong saying forced, but at least the minister of Department of Justice then reconsidered and made that a famous announcement end of 2004 and 2005. The procedure started, and even when people made applications, several thousands were still refused on excuses that they were not continuously resident in the state. They had criminal record, even criminal record covering traffic offense. I mean, it was ridiculous as far as I was concerned at the time. So we went back to court. And luckily, I mean, that was dealt with as well. So those are the issues.
That was in the court till sometime, was it sometime last year or 2 years ago?
Well, what had happened was, at the time, a lot of people were given residency, but as time went on, there were men who were coming back to Ireland to join their families. And then the Department of Justice now started making excuses. Oh, they've not been here for that long. You need to show that the child has been dependent on you. And my argument with that is that if you live here in Ireland and your wife lives in London, for example, or in Nigeria, it does not mean that the family is separated. Often than not, some people make that choice for economic reasons, for a spouse to live in UK or London and one is living in Ireland, and they decide how they relate or see themselves. The family is not separated because of distance. So we are saying that if husband has been in Nigeria and the husband decides to come to Ireland to join the family, you cannot say that family has not been residing together as a result. They must continuously live apart. So,
and I know that the test case of that very issue was Yeah, one of the test cases was Yorkland.
Yes,
Yeah,
the particular case that got to Supreme Court that we won.
Supreme Court was
yes,
the client.
yes, was my client. Yes,
yeah.
and we won that Ogwekwe case, which became paramount.
That must have been an experience.
Yes, it was, and we won that case. We won that case in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, agreed or accepted that the Department of Justice and the minister needed to consider the effect the separation would have on the child. There are other several cases that one had gone through and won in High Court and Supreme Court, so it's been quite an achievement
with the one you just talked about. I mean, there's nothing much to say. Tomorrow, all over the world, people are aware of the Irish-born parents that at the point we're not giving residency to live in Ireland, even while their children were Irish. But at the end, cases went to court. And eventually the issue was settled, and people now live in Ireland.
Yes.
Celia,